Hello to anyone and everyone watching. My name is Ayla Hana Arian, and this is my take on one of my favorite childhood games called Pokemon HeartGold. Created by Game Freak, published by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, released on the Nintendo DS. It was first released in Japan on September 12, 2009, and then in North America on March 14, 2010. It was a dual version, so it had another version called Pokemon Soul Silver with it. Then they were both released on the 10th anniversary of Gold and Silver in Japan, which is the original games of the Generation. So you have the two protagonists you can choose, male or female. So this game has actually had a lot of stuff. When I looked at my research, it was the highest selling DS game out of all the games made. So I would love to just keep going into it, but let's just watch these cutscenes. This will give you more information. It shows you certain areas, certain locations that would be key for the storyline. As you see, pixelated art was big back then in the original games, Pokemon, but it's been upgraded, which I love. And I grew up with, oh, we got some characters that you might want to know and keep an eye out for. This boy will be your rival, and he has more to it than meets the eye. You have the 3 legendary dogs that are also key to the story, that involve also that burnt tower we saw a little while back. It's loading. I'm gonna have to turn off the music to see if it loads faster. Sorry about that. I do love the music, but this has been not working in my best favor. As you see, there's this weird little thing that has language written on it. It looks like the alphabet, which it is. There's these mysterious Pokemon that are known to. And as we know, this should be the bad guy team, as we know. We're going to click on and keep moving, shall we? So it shows the introduction page. I'll keep the volume on for certain things, but it's just not really good. As it says, Pokemon Heart Gold version. Tap here to start, which we shall. The beautiful cry of Ho-Oh, so majestic. Brings me back. So as I said before, there's another version called Soul Silver with the other legendary called Lugia. The one we have is known as Ho-Oh. As you know, when you play any Pokemon game, it gives you like instructions on what you have to do, the controls, on how to do it. As you see, there's important things. The controls you can use, the adventure, what you're going to do. But if you're like me, you don't really need information. Pretty much in this game, you're just trying to battle all the gym leaders and get the badges like any other Pokemon game. I don't know why it's so slow. I am so sorry. Turn off the volume for now. Definitely when the volume's off, it does go a lot faster. I'm sorry about that. But I do love how it still keeps the, what is it called? The music, the like pixelated 8-bit music, but it's not as 8-bit. It's a bit more higher quality. But the cool thing about this is if you've played the original Gold and Silver, the same music used back then is used in these two games for the locations, which is great. And as you know, you always have a professor who's like, I wouldn't say like he's like your guide, but he's like the one who makes you go on this crazy adventure. Not this professor in particular, but a different one who you'll hopefully will be able to see soon, if I have enough time. As you know, his name is Professor Oak, and he tells you about the world of Pokemon. Now, this game is based off the Johto region. Now, the Johto region is actually a real-life region in Japan. The first 4 Pokemon games or versions were all based on the 4 regions of Japan, not Pokemon, but they based those regions in Pokemon. So Johto is actually a real place in Japan. It's like the Johto region, it's like the Johto County. I'm not entirely sure, I should know. But pretty much they're based on there, and this one's more based off of I wouldn't say like Asian, but more like more of the Edo period-ish. Some areas are based off the Edo period with the towers and whatnot, and some of it's more based on real life, more realistic. But this game has always had a special place in my heart. I do love that you get to choose between a boy and a girl, because originally in the Gold and Silver games, you could only be male. You could not be female. It wasn't until a game later on after Gold and Silver called Crystal, you had the option to choose to be female. But you choose your character, you choose what's your name and whatnot, and you choose your starter. And it's very simple. Anyone who's played a Pokemon game knows what I do miss, which I know might be a controversial take, is that I miss the pixel art. I miss this pixelated stuff. I understand, realistic is better, blah, blah, blah. But when the first 3D game for Pokemon came out, I was very disappointed. I understood the idea, but I felt like if they kept some things like 3D and some things pixelated, it would be like a good mix. But They never did that, sadly, so I'm here upset, but I don't mind it. I'm still a huge fan of the games. I wish I could show you more, but pretty much I don't really have any dislikes. There are some things that would be difficult because nowadays, if you have the game, you're gonna need someone else with the other version to download and trade stuff, and it's difficult because the games are so hard to find. But other than that, I love the nostalgia. I love the pixel art. It just brings me back to when I was a kid, when there's as much troubles as being an adult now and worrying about, oh, do I have to pay everything on time? And am I gonna have enough food to eat? Blah blah blah. But this just brings me back, and nostalgia hits me so hard and makes me feel, man, I wish we had more games like this or something similar to bring back the good old days. But that's just my perspective on the Pokemon game HeartGold. I totally hope that next time when I do this, hopefully a bigger video, more broad, not more broad, yes, and then I can introduce you so much more. Thank you so much for watching my little let's go on it or my take on it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me ramble my way on one of my favorite childhood games. This is Ayla Hana Argan signing out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, everyone.